In natural Oilers fashion, Oilers fans went a little berserk after this signing. And the reason why, so Lavoie signed 874 for 1 year. And I think fans wanted him at 775, which is league minimum, because that way the Oilers then get another 100,000 to play around with. It gives them more flexibility. If he had just matched his qualifying offer. Obviously, he did not do that. Do you have any thoughts on this, Aaron? I feel like Lavoie is interesting because now he kind of puts himself in a bad spot if he doesn't make the team. It's a bad spot for the Oilers if he doesn't make the team. Then you have to send him down. Also, it's a good spot for him in a way of like kind of pushing himself out the door a little bit too.
I think, in classic summertime silly season, I did get very into the news and kind of looked in. Where could I see him on the lineup? I just feel like if it could happen, maybe a third line of Dylan Holloway, McLeod, Lavoie.
Yeah.
That's an awesome young gun line. Am I holding my breath that he's going to come into the lineup, step in day one and be an asset that's getting paid less than $1 million?
I am not. I actually think this
for the viewers, yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I actually think that Lavoie kind of pushes himself out here a little bit, just because you look at that right side, and to not take the 775 is only $100,000. But we'll pull up the I have the numbers here. So with current cap, excuse me, include Marcus Niemelainen on it. This is just the way Cap Friendly has it. The others have 4.75 million. That makes sense, right? 4.75 million. 4.745 million. So many. I wish they would just kind of just round it up. So that's not enough, I don't think, to sign McLeod and Bouchard.
No.
Obviously, that would kind of look like the others would run a 23-man roster, which at this point just doesn't seem to be the case at all. So without Niemelainen, Lavoie, and I even put Lane Peterson in this, because the only reason I'm putting Lane Peterson in there is because Ken Holland came out after day one of free agency and said every player we signed outside of Connor Brown was a minor league deal. So that means that they see Lane Peterson as the 13th guy. I don't think he's going to want to be the guy who they're going to want him to be their 4C. So without those three guys, they have 7.1 million, 7.2 million if you round it up. That's enough to sign McLeod, Bouchard, and probably a decent 4C if you really, really wanted to. If my math is correct. Yeah, on another league minimum. Or even if you wanted to throw $1 million at somebody. I know Ken Holland's been like, oh, I want to have some money for when the trade deadline comes. Like, I think he said $500K.
Weren't last year we to our final dollar?
Yes, we were. We were making
cap circumvention.
We were making jokes about how you should be able to go to restaurants and have like the Oilers cap special, and then whatever it kind of bounces up and down to. So that's interesting.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to open a restaurant, we got a plan. Lavoie is the most intriguing one. I don't see Niemelainen on this team. Lane Peterson is just going to be the guy who they go back and forth with. So here's some of the options as we say, like, well, they have $1 million to sign a guy. Well, who's available? Jonathan Taves, who came out last week, I think it was, and basically said, like, he's an unavailable free agent who isn't retired yet.
Except for Marian Host's
I was going to say,
retirement
he's
game.
Playing in Marian Host's retirement game, which is that in Europe, I would assume? In Slovakia, I think. So we'll see. Maybe that kind of helps trigger a little bit of something for him. Yeah. So Taves, I think, is an option, but something that isn't going to happen until... I would not be shocked, and this is... I don't know anything about this, if Taves just got like a PTO with a team, and it was kind of just an agreement amongst both parties of like, we need to know what you're going to be, and then we can kind of go from there with the contract negotiation. So I think, and it kind of helps Taves too, even if it doesn't work with hypothetically the Oilers, 31 other teams can then be like, well, what to do? Does he feel a better answer? The other one is Pius Suter. I don't think the Oilers can afford him. Thomas Nosek is a guy that people have kind of thrown out there as a name. I believe some people around the city have said that. Apparently he wants around $2 million, which just seems like too much. Like the others literally cannot afford that.
Yeah, unless can't do that.
Unless somehow Bouchard and McLeod both come in at cheaper deals than we're assuming.